Do you remember when they used actors in their mid-20s to play high school students in 90s slashers like Scream? That was weird, wasn't it? I mean, they were clearly not 18, so I don't know who they were trying to fool. Oh yeah, we're talking about Scream 2022 today, by the way. At the same time, when Scream began and we were introduced to Tara, the character in the intro scene, the first thought that crossed my mind was, "Aw, she's so little, how adorable." She's 19. That's right. Jenna Ortega, who plays Tara, is 19. And I've always had this theory that every new generation looks a little younger than the previous one, but I also think that the reason this casting looks off is because Hollywood has made us accustomed to seeing fully fledged adults as teenagers.
They cast people in the late 20s, early 30s to play us.
Anyways, Scream is a requel, which means it's between a remake and a sequel. It follows the events of the original while rebooting the cast, but also having the characters have some sort of connection with the people in the original film. I don't know if that made sense. I'm sure it'll all sound a lot less convoluted when you check the movie out. The lead role is reprised by Melissa Barrera, who plays Tara's older sister, Sam Carpenter. I wasn't a big fan of her acting here, and to quote my brother, she's got porn acting skills. She does have this scene in the beginning where she takes medication and downs it with an energy drink, and I have to say that as a person with diagnosed anxiety and an addiction to monsters, I felt that shit. By the way, I don't know what the hell they did with Billy Loomis. Sam sees Billy throughout the movie and they tried to de-age him, but it doesn't look good at all. I mean, Skeet Ulrich is a good looking dude, especially when you take into account that he is 52, but he looks nothing like he did in the original. It's very jarring. I really like the continuity in the film, and the fact that Officer Judy Hicks was able to work her way up to sheriff is really nice considering that she was Dewey's right-hand gal. Also, as you'll probably notice, her son Wes is named after the late Wes Craven who directed the original 4 Scream films, so I think that is a nice touch. We do see appearances from the original 3 survivors, and while I am happy to see all 3 of them, I am especially glad to see David Arquette doing well. For those of you who don't know, Arquette decided to follow a path into the wrestling world, and that's all because in the 2000 World Championship Wrestling promo, he somehow won the heavyweight champion title, and feeling that he dishonored wrestling, which is something that he loves so much, he became driven to pay his dues and attempt to do it the right way. He ended up sustaining multiple injuries, all of which were cataloged in the documentary You Cannot Kill David Arquette, which you should all go see for yourself if you're into that kind of thing because it's pretty good. Shout out to James and Chelsea from Dead Meat, by the way. They have a funny little scene in the movie where they bash on the most recent Stab movie. I know these two love Scream, so I'm very happy to see them being a part in their movie. Also, in the 1 in a million chance that you guys ever see this, I love you guys. Also, I want to talk about the scene where Sam tries to get Dewey to help her to stop the killings, and Dewey just kicks her out. While Sam heads off to her destination, Dewey reaches out to the other 2 survivors and tells them to stay away. And although something like 20 minutes have passed, he somehow manages to catch up to Sam and arrives at the same time as she does, which is very confusing because at this point Dewey is already retired, so he was either going over 100 with no siren, or he reached out to his inner Michael Myers and straight up just teleported, because I have no fucking idea how he did it. There is this one thing that I want to mention that kind of bugged me. Tara's friends just disappeared from the movie at around the halfway mark, and then they just reappeared towards the end at a party, no less. And it made me kind of annoyed because I was convinced that they were just playing dumb character roles, but then they actually started making some smart decisions, like not being alone as to not get murdered. All in all, they were behaving in a much more intelligent manner than their predecessors. Well, that is until one of the friends by the name of Chad goes off on his own to look for his girlfriend. At this point, all the characters just sort of flipped a switch and decided, once again, I'm gonna be dumb. It very much felt like they were just being dumb to advance the plot, and it was mildly annoying. To the writer's credit though, the characters are somewhat complex. You can definitely see that there is, for the most part, reasoning behind the actions that they take, and while they are definitely not perfect, their actions do match their personalities. I think so anyways. Let me give it to you straight. I like horror movies. I like the Scream franchise. I like this movie. I definitely give it a yay, 100%. I do want to prefix this though. The movie is very meta. The characters are very conscious of what's going on, and while they aren't necessarily breaking the fourth wall, they are treading pretty close. If you can't put up with it, it won't be for you. That being said, go watch the movie, folks. It isn't currently streaming on any platform, so you'll have to go catch it in theaters, but I'm sure you'll have a blast. With all that being said, do you agree? Do you disagree? Do you want to hear me say more? Let me know down in the comments, and don't forget to subscribe and hit the bell so you can catch all my future videos. As always, this has been Subtly Artistic. Peace out.